Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking in HD. It's Bart, and it's actually almost December up here in the Great White North, also known as Canada. And it's really tough to go outside and cook a fabulous steak. You really have to sort of bear the elements. So today I'm making for you a blue cheese crusted New York strip loin, and I'm serving it with some roasted red potatoes and some asparagus. And the interesting thing about this blue cheese crusted steak is that it doesn't actually require you to go outside. I did this entirely in my oven underneath the broiler. And that blue cheese crust, oh man, I tell you, it is heavenly. So stick around. I'm going to show you how to make a delicious dish like this, a blue cheese crusted steak. You can use any steak cut of meat that you want, but I'll show you how to make something as delectable as this on Cooking in HD. If you like what you see, go to cookinginhd.com and just do a search for blue cheese crusted steak. Cheers. Right, well, let's start off with our ingredients for the blue cheese crust. You'll need, obviously, blue cheese. This is a Danish blue that I have here, and it's been softened to room temperature. I've got about 1/8 of a cup of butter, also softened to room temperature. Use a good quality loaf of bread. This is a sourdough bread. Don't use rubbish like white bread. It has no character or flavor. So get yourself a good quality loaf of bread, and I'll be cutting off 2 1-inch thick slices from this. You'll need green onions, or scallions as they're called, probably about 4 or 5 whole stalks, and salt and pepper, of course. I'll start by taking my bread and putting it into a food processor, and we'll give this just a rough chop. Next, the green onions. Start with just a fraction of our blue cheese, about 1 tablespoon of butter, and a pinch of salt and pepper. Put the lid back on, and we'll just give it another chop. Okay, so now this is where some fine tuning comes in. Take a little bit here. Give it a taste. Okay. It needs more butter, and it needs more blue cheese. So put in another tablespoon of each. And let's give it another chop. Okay, well, this is done, and let me show you how to tell if you have the right consistency. Just take a tablespoon sized piece, put it on a cutting board, and if I pat this down, what I'm looking for is something that sort of feels like Play-Doh, and that's very much what this is. So when we put this on top of a piece of steak and pat it down, this is going to form our blue cheese crust. And it's very pliable, very malleable. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. And we're all set to get started on cooking the steaks. So next I'm gonna take olive oil. I'm gonna pour it over top of the steaks. And then once they're covered nicely, I'll put some pepper and some salt on them and cover them evenly. Now you can see that I put salt and pepper on my steaks, and I've covered them with olive oil. And I'm going to take them and transfer them to a cookie sheet that has a cooling rack on top of it. So the idea here is that I want air flowing around my steaks as I'm broiling it from the top. As the heat comes down from the broiler, they're going to curve a little bit, so by putting them on a cookie sheet, the heat kind of goes around it and it makes them curve a little bit less in the broiler. So let's do that next. Okay, so these are going into my oven, and just want to show you here underneath, see that blue bit up there? That's a natural gas broiler, and it's absolutely nuclear. It's really hot. So I'm gonna let these go until they get brown on top, and then I'm gonna flip them. Okay, let me give you a little peek here. This is about 2 minutes in. Okay, it's been about 7 minutes. Let me just give you a quick look here. Nice and done on this side. Here's a nice close-up. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to flip these over, and then we'll do them just a few minutes on that side before we put the blue cheese crust. Okay, put these under the broiler for about 4 minutes. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. Take these out. There we go. Now put the blue cheese crust on. Okay, so the method is pretty simple. Just scoop up your blue cheese and just pat it down over top of the steak. You can see I've done this one right here, and this one's all ready to go. And I'll just finish crusting this one, and we'll throw it back in the oven underneath the broiler. Okay, now these are both ready to go in the oven under the broiler, just to give the blue cheese a nice kind of, the crust, make it firm and golden brown. So we'll do that next. Okay, so it's been like 2 or 3 minutes. You can see we've got a nice golden brown crust. It's time for it to come out of the oven. Look at that. What a work of art. There's our blue cheese crust on our New York strip steaks. Beautiful. We're ready to serve. Okay guys, so this is the final product. As I showed you at the beginning of the video, I've got my blue cheese crusted steak, and you'll notice it's a little bit firm on top. It's got a nice firm crust, which I've just got a little bit of a golden brown tinge on it, and it's going to be probably about medium rare to medium, and obviously serving it with some roasted red potatoes and a few sprigs of asparagus. And certainly wouldn't hurt to maybe pour a little bit of melted cheese on those asparagus as well. So if you like what you see here, just go to cookinginhd.com and do a search for blue cheese crusted steak. And like I said, the beauty of this recipe is you don't even need to go outside to make it. It's simply delectable. I hope you enjoy. Cheers.